Hello everybody, what's happening? My name's Neil, welcome along to Midlife Motors. Well, I'm stuck in the garage here, have been all weekend. The weather has been horrendous this weekend. It's blowing a gale, the rain is hammering off the roof. So I've confined myself to the garage, and the good news is the car's back, and thoughts have started turning towards getting it ready for the winter. I don't take the car off the road at the winter because I still like to go out when there's a nice sunny crisp winter's day. So I don't take it off the road, but it does sit under the cover a little bit more often. It does get plugged into the charger for a little while, and I do have like carpets under the wheels, you know, just to load off it so we don't get flat spots, because it can sit still for 5, 6, 7 weeks at a time, maybe even a couple of months. So I'll just go through what I did. And I do sort of maybe compare it with you do, and we can swap ideas and see how we get on. Well, I use a C-Tech battery charger on this car, as I think a lot of people do. I've got the model, I think it's the MXS5. It's a couple of years old now, so there's maybe a more modern version. It does have the two functions though. It will charge as it's plugged in and doing now and give you the numbers across the screen when it's green, that's good. And it has the recondition mode, which they advise you do once a year, which I usually do over the Christmas period, just because I remember that. So it fits in on this car quite nicely. This has an earth built into the chassis leg there, which is quite handy, and then it has a positive terminal. The battery's hidden away down below in this car, but it has a positive terminal here, so it's easy to connect into. When I so I'll leave this on, it just gets left on all the time, 24/7, does its thing, everything's fine. When I shut it down, I do close it over. They do say if you've got power stays on your car, don't leave the bonnet open, it's not good for the power stays. So when I shut it, I just leave it on the latch, I don't shut it, because you've got to be careful. Most cars have an under tray on the bonnet now. I think it's for heat and noise. If you squash it down, if these aren't lying flat, if the connectors aren't lying flat, it can do damage to that. So when I close it, I just put it down on the latch and everything's fine, nothing's touching, nothing's getting damaged. The charger cracks on. Good stuff. The cover is another Classic Editions cover that I'm using. Did a review of the outdoor one we use on the Mazda. I'll put a little link up the top here. It's worked very well. This is for indoor use only. It's a fabric cover with a really soft, like fleece lining. It's fully breathable, so I mean, in an ideal situation, you want the car spotlessly clean, as I've mentioned a million times when I've been talking about covers, and this one is at this stage. But it is breathable, so if you have a little bit of moisture, if you can't get it away 100% dry, then don't panic. With this car, because it's a convertible, there's quite a lot of rubber seals, and sometimes I'll put the car away and a seal will still not be fully dry, and you'll see a little damp spot appearing on the cover. Quite often up the back here, and it just dries and it clears and no moisture is kept inside. So that's quite good. That's a good reason for this type of cover. I think they're available in five colours. I went for grey because the car's grey. You get blue, black, red, and I think green. And you can also get them with pockets for the wing mirrors, but I tend not to bother with those. The wing mirrors fold in, and they give it something else for the cover to stretch around and therefore stay tight, and I think that works quite well. This is a size S, which I was quite surprised when it came in. It was a small. I mean, it's not a big car, but some parts of it are large. But the size S, this is super stretchy, so it's the perfect size. So don't get whatever you think it should be. You might be surprised when you go on the configurator and think it's a smaller size, but don't panic. That's exactly what happened to me, and I'm glad it's a small. Much like the outdoor cover, there is a front and a back, and there is a label. There's an inside and an outside. The label will point you in the direction of which is which. Unlike the outside cover, it's quite easy. It comes in a bag. Crikey, haven't got the bag here. It comes in a bag, but there's no cables with this one. There's nothing to tie it down. So it's very much reliant, I think, on the fact that it's indoor. But to put it on, It's just the same process, just do it piece by piece. You can do it one-man operation. It's a much lighter cover, so it's easier to install. Put it on piece by piece. I've done the back because it's a bit higgledy-piggledy in here. There's not a lot of room. I'll finish the front and then we'll have a look at it. So there we go, fairly easy peasy. You can sort of see the contours nicely following the shape of the bonnet, both sides. You can see the way it covers the front nicely. It does the same at the back. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it covers the wheels well as too. And it just means that, okay, inside the garage, people maybe think it's a bit excessive, but I mean, the garage isn't a sealed room. I've got a concrete floor in here and it can be a little bit dusty, and the garage door isn't 100% sealed. So particularly by the coast here where it can be windy, you do come in sometimes and see a bit of a dust film on the car. This cover takes care of that, gets rid of it. I quite like it. It's much easier on and off than the outdoor cover, so if you want to take it out for a spin, it's a much easier operation. Good stuff. So one other thing I was going to point out, and it's a subject of quite a bit of discussion, if you like, on some forums. When you park your car up, what about the tyres? What about the suspension? The risk, I think, is that you can flat spot the tyres. Now, a lot of people say pump them up, pump them up, pump them up, which is fine if you're really not going to use it for 6 months. But as I said, I take this out now and again when it's a nice day, when, you know, there's no salt around and it's just a crisp day. So I don't really want to do that. I don't want to pump them up, let the tyres out all the time. I think the other alternatives, you can put them on stands. Again, I don't think I could be bothered taking them on and off stands. It's not a particularly big garage this, so I don't have a lot of working space. So what I've done is, I've got a carpet down, and underneath the carpet, I've cut squares, metre by a metre squares. I've cut, well, there's 4 under each tile, so 4, 8, 12, so there's 16 in total. And I've found doing that over the years, bearing in mind this car's 6 years old now, and it's only done 8,000 miles, so it has sat quite considerably. It's still on the original tyres, and there's no flat spotting, and there's no cracks on the tyres or anything like that. So that's my solution to that debate. I've just put it on lots of padding. Whether that padding be carpets, I think a lot of people go for the rubber matting as well. I do that outside with the Mazda when it parks up, just because you don't want the carpets getting wet. So that's my solution to that. What do you reckon? Am I over exaggerating there? I don't know. Oh, one other thing that's quite handy with this cover is it's almost see-through with the when the garage lights are off. So where I've located the charger, you won't be able to see this on camera, but I'll maybe take a picture of it. You can pop in here at night with the lights off. You can see how the charger's doing. That's quite handy as well. So once the cover's on, charger's plugged in, you don't have to keep taking it on and off as well, which is good news. I thought I'd just sort of pass that message on. You can get a visual without having to take everything off. Handy. So that's me. That's my ideas of how to store up the car that I've got. If you can see anything that I'm doing wrong, or if you've got any ideas of things that could be done better, then please let me know. I'm not a specialist at this. I'm just trying to give you my ideas, and I'm all ears for yours. I think that's about it. Quick video really there, just to share ideas while the weather outside is absolutely atrocious. If you can like this, that would be superb, and if you can share it, excellent as well. And I'd love for you to subscribe, and hopefully next time we'll be out driving a car, so there'll be something more exciting to look at. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.